Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling is upset that Johns Hopkins University is redefining the word lesbian to mean non-men attracted to non-men, instead of it being women attracted to women. Rowling argues, quote, "Man, no definition needed. Non-man, formerly known as woman, a being definable only by reference to the male. An absence, a vacuum where there's no manness," end quote. While that is an important observation, and Rowling has taken an extreme amount of heat for standing against the current trans orthodoxy, which is commendable these days, it does bear pointing out how her earlier and indeed continued support for feminism is what caused all of this. Feminism told women to measure themselves by the stick used to measure a man. Not a virtuous Christian man, no, but specifically a sleazy playboy, which is to say careerism and having a large number of sexual partners instead of having marriage and a family. That destroyed women in the sexual marketplace, if one can bear such a demeaning term. And it also rendered their hard work and sacrifice inside the home as being worthless because they weren't making money for it. Therefore, we found ourselves in this weird loop where a woman staying home to make sandwiches at lunch for her husband and for her kids is seen as pitiable, as if her love is just worthless and unnecessary. But if she gets a job at Subway and does the exact same thing for someone else's kids and husband, well, now she's a boss babe, she's making money. Again, feminism reviles true femininity, and it's what led to women being compared to men in the first place, long before the crazies at Johns Hopkins decided to start redefining words. The undoing of sexual relations and championing promiscuous straight sex and gay marriage is what brought us to this point. Liberals like this started a fire that's eating them too, and they're acting all confused about it. They aren't the firemen coming in to save us. They're the hapless arson whose fatal misunderstanding of God's moral rules has ignited a conflagration that is out of their control, especially because their solutions only involve more of the matches and gasoline that started this blaze in the first place. For example, as a litmus test for these types, we need to first get serious about eradicating to the best of society's ability porn. Not just the porn books in school libraries. The only reason why gay porn books are in school libraries in the first place is because generation of kids who were raised on such utter filth are now so desensitized to it. They made it an essential part of their core being. And they want to spread the demonic gospel now that they are the adults in charge themselves. So we need to cut out the roots in order to destroy its fruits. Dad can read his Playboy while mom reads 50 Shades of Grey, and then they scratch their heads together. That's why their marriage blew up. And now their child's sex-positive feminist teacher is telling Timmy he's really Susie, using a mid-20th century perverted doctor's data on sexually abused infants to say, well, everyone has a little gay inside. And oh, by the way, that same doctor, Alfred Kinsey, was such a huge influence on Hugh Hefner that Hefner used to refer to himself as Kinsey's pamphleteer and publicist, bringing us back full circle to Playboy. It's all related. The left just took our heterosexual pornified culture and made it customizable, where you can now make up your own gender or sexual orientation at whim. And since sexual degeneracy knows no bounds and it loves to pervert and to corrupt innocence, it's coming for your kids. Joining us now to discuss is Jakub Boyens, the founder of Jakub Boyens Ministries. Thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Kara.
So you guys have a resource page to help those currently struggling with a porn addiction. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, look, we recently released a feature film called Sex Nation, because that's what we've become. Sex is now so prevalent but contorted from the Garden of Eden, from God's original design and intent to bring a husband and wife together. And what a phenomenal monologue. So well encapsulated. We have a resource page because there's such a need for teenagers. The average age of porn entry in the United States today are boys age 8. I had a young man in my office this morning who was introduced to porn at 7, was a full-fledged porn addict at 9, started acting out what he saw in porn at 11. We now have 2 cases where there is a teen-on-teen rape, where boys are demanding the acts that they have seen in porn, completely desensitized. So the need for resources are very high, and we have incredible resources both online or in person to help teenagers today and help parents how to have a conversation with teens, and in particularly wives how to help their husbands who are raising their hand and say, listen, I've got a problem, I need help.